Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Alex and I are going to be doing a preview of the Steelers Cowboys Hall of Fame game. What?
How you doing, Miss Cola? How you doing today? Steelers Nation in the house.
Dude, I'm very excited, and thank you for the earrings in advance. By the way, I'm very excited. It's official. It's
How
official
you gonna let
swag.
people know?
There you go. Alex and I, we got a thing now. He's giving me earrings. You know what I'm saying? So we got a thing.
Hey, I don't want your man hurt me though. I don't want your hand hurt me. Now, come on, Alice. No, but I find it quite interesting that not one, not two, not three, not four, but five Pittsburgh Steelers are being inducted in the 2020-2021 class of the Hall of Fame. And it just so happens that Pittsburgh's playing Dallas. You don't find
I
any of
know.
this ironic?
I know. It's like you would think that maybe the commissioner actually does like the Steelers. Because usually, everybody's like, oh, the commissioner hates the Steelers. Oh, Roger Goodell
What
hates the Steelers. But I think he
what
likes
is
them.
your expectations of this season? Because I mean, that offensive line is like recycled, rebuilt.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I really think, obviously, a lot of the Steelers' success lies on the shoulders of Ben Roethlisberger, as it does every year, as it has every year for the past 17 seasons. That's how it's going to go. But to be successful as a quarterback, especially when you're getting, a little bit late into your career, the offensive line plays a big role in your success. So that has to be the biggest question mark, I think, for the Steelers this season, heading into the 2021 season, which could be or may not be Ben Roethlisberger's final season.
It should be Ben Roethlisberger's last season
It
because
should
he's
be.
getting a little bit long in the. And you saw that at the end of the season when they started 11-0, when it got ugly, it got ugly. The second touchdown, they started losing games. And
Mm-hmm.
another thing that I'm noticing is that I'm talking to a lot of natives here in the Ohio area and some Cleveland Browns fans and Cleveland police officers, and they say they don't mind all the Pittsburgh material in the house because at least we're taking your money. Come September, they say they have something for you.
Okay, bring it. I mean, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say about that. I mean, the Steelers have owned, and particularly Ben Roethlisberger, have owned the Browns for the past umpteenth, seasons. But we are about to see a changing of the guard, so to speak. Once Ben does hang up his cleats, the Steelers, they're going to struggle to maintain that success that they've known to do. And there's no question about that. But I don't know that it's. I mean, to me, you had asked me about the expectations for the season, and I still feel like, I mean, it's a bold prediction, and I've said it probably since January. I still feel like the Steelers are going to win the division. Now, it's not going to be by much. It's going to be by maybe a game or two at the most. But I think the Ravens and the Browns are going to be right there, as they have been the past couple seasons. So, for me as a Steelers fan and an NFL fan in general, I like it more when the Browns are good. I don't, because the Steelers have to play them twice a year. I don't want the Steelers to go in there and just steamroll the Browns. It makes for a more exciting matchup when the Ravens are good, when the Browns are good, and when the Bengals haven't been good, and they probably won't for a while. But
No.
Yeah, Joe Burrow, I guess, is not looking very good in camp. So
Well, that and the offensive line, but
I mean, yeah, they didn't address that at all in the draft, it seems. So, and that's really where they needed, to help the rookie out, who's now in his second year. And again, it goes back to the offensive line. Like you said, last year the Steelers were dealing with a lot of injuries and a lot of elderliness, a lot of old guys on that line. And
did you
now
say elderliness?
I did.
Okay.
Now, in terms of football years, you know what I mean? That's the thing. They're still younger than you and me. These guys are still younger than you and me, but they were old in terms of.
Well, the fact that they lost Marquise Pouncey when you lose your center, that hurts. That hurts any team. And then you got Andrew
Yeah.
Villanueva, who, thank you for your service
Right.
first and foremost, went over to the enemy with the
Yeah.
Baltimore Ravens.
Uh-huh.
And then Mr. Gilbert decides to retire. So you
Right.
got a makeshift offensive line
Hmm.
and fresh young wide receivers between Deontay Johnson, Juju, who's finally left TikTok alone, and
Right.
Mr. Claypool,
Hmm.
the Canadian crippler. I have no issues with your offensive weapons, and I don't know how many reps Najee Harris is going to get tomorrow. I
Hopefully.
actually have an issue with your offensive line and your defensive.
Yeah, I don't see. For me, it's more the secondary. To be honest with you, obviously, Bud Dupree's gone, and that's huge. But I still feel, and Blake and I have talked about this a couple times already, that Bud Dupree was only as good as T.J. Watt, and I sort of feel like he's not going to be. Bud Dupree isn't going to be the same without him in Tennessee. But I also sort of wonder, we saw Alex Highsmith. He came in and had, for a rookie especially, in a tough defensive scheme as the Pittsburgh Steelers have, he came in and played pretty well. And obviously they signed Melvin Ingram. So, it's yet to be seen how they're going to do that with the depth chart and whatever. It's kind of early to tell. But for me, my main concern in terms of the Steelers' defense is that secondary, because Steven Nelson is no longer there.
Nelson, I was about to get to that. The departure
Right.
of Nelson is going to hurt.
I think so too. And now we just have a couple, we have Cam Sutton and Justin Lane. They're just unproven. It's not that they're not talented or can't be can't show that, hey, the secondary is going to be better, better than everybody thinks. Like, that may end up being the case, and I hope that is the case, but that's the concern for me, is the Steelers' defense.
Okay, so I have concerns on offense. You have concerns on defense, and we're both concerned about Ben Roethlisberger.
Yes.
Can I be honest with you?
Yes.
I don't want to wish the man any ill will, but could we be looking at Mike Tomlin's first losing season?
Well, I mean, it's possible. I see them winning the division, so it's hard for me. So I'll put on a different hat, and I will say it's possible.
I see Baltimore winning this division.
Yeah. Okay. It could be. Yeah. I mean,
let's take a look at last
Lamar
year.
Jackson's one play away for the Ravens of just being non-essential. You know what I mean? Or just non-essential isn't really the right word, but yeah, they're just. It's all up to Lamar, and again with the Steelers, it's all up to Ben. So, but yeah, you do make a great point. It could be Tomlin's first losing season. You're right.
Well, you see, Baltimore has had this complex of always beating down Cleveland and then just dealing with Pittsburgh. Cleveland is starting to get the taste of beating Pittsburgh, considering they beat you 2 of the last 3. I mean, trust me, Pittsburgh's been beating down the little brother, but little brother's standing up for himself. Right. Baltimore has weapons now. Baltimore has receivers now. And I think everybody who was laughing at the side of the mouth, saying, haha, he's a running back, not a quarterback, wrong. He already has an MVP. 2019, led the league with 36 touchdown passes. We could get a repeat of the 2019 season. And then there's the fly in the ointment known as the Cleveland Browns. Because let me tell you something, Allison, the people here are excited. And they're defending Baker Mayfield like I'm at a Make America Great Again rally. You can't say anything wrong about him or you're going to get jumped. And just the feeling here in Ohio is that Cleveland is going to make a move in this division.
Yeah, well, they very well could. It really does. If Baker does maybe some less progressive commercials, he might be a better quarterback. I don't know. Now, I'm from Cleveland, so I do. There's a part of me deep down in my heart that wants to see Cleveland succeed, as long as it isn't against Pittsburgh, and as long as it isn't division-wise. Like, don't win the division. You can play well as long as you A, don't beat Pittsburgh, and B, don't win the division. But that's just because I'm from there. If I wasn't, I would just be saying F the Browns. I don't really care about the Browns, but there's a part of me, like I said, that does. Yeah, I definitely feel like the Browns fans have a very good reason to be excited. I mean, they've been downtrodden. I mean, the factory of sadness. I mean, the Browns have been awful, and they have every right to be excited, and I'm happy for them. I just hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't play out. That's all.
I was speaking to some of the natives, and they told me about the Pittsburgh Cleveland connection and Youngstown, Ohio, and how you
Mm-hmm.
can pick up the signal from Youngstown, which I'm not too far from. So I get it. Allison Kohler has roots in the Cleveland area, and she writes and reports and roots for the Steelers. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's only fitting, right?
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
I, not one, not two, not three, not four, but five Pittsburgh Steelers are going in and
Mm.
being enshrined into the Hall of Fame. You know, I was there all day today, and I mean, I was like a kid in a candy store. I'm a grown man, and I went back to the '90s. I'm like, wow, this place is just beautiful. All right,
Mm-hmm.
so Cower,
Mm-hmm.
Palomalu, Fanica,
Mm-hmm.
which of the Steelers do you believe is going to have the best speech, and who do you believe deserves it more?
Whew, that's a tough one. You know, part of me wants to say Troy Polamalu. I don't know, but I don't know. I haven't read whether he's going to be there or not because he had the coronavirus. So I don't know if he's going to be there live or not. So, but I love Dick LeBeau. You know, he's not. Okay. So Dick LeBeau is giving the presentation for Troy Polamalu, and I love Dick LeBeau, and I obviously love Troy. So part of me wants to say that's going to be the best speech, especially given how humble and how soft-spoken Troy Polamalu tends to be. But I have to go with Bill Cowher. Art Rooney is giving him the presentation speech. So that for me, I mean the chin, you know what I mean? Like I grew up watching. I mean, Cowher was the first coach. Noel was coaching when I was born and whatnot, but Cowher was the first coach that I remember vividly. You know, sitting on the couch as a kid and getting ready to watch Steelers games when they were actually broadcast, because that was back in the day before the Sunday NFL ticket.
That's
So,
right.
but yeah, so he's the first coach that I remember watching, and just the spittle and the chin, and if you did something wrong, you were just going to be just given the look of death, you know. And so it's very exciting, obviously, as you can tell. It's very exciting for me to be able to watch, you know, five former Steelers being enshrined this weekend, but all in one weekend. I mean, that's pretty amazing. It's going to be fantastic.
I I'm actually looking forward to Alan Faneca for some reason. The
Mm-hmm.
6'4", 322-pound offensive lineman who was just a savage. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we were walking through the museum today, and we saw his locker because his locker is available to see there in the Canton Hall of Fame Museum, and he had a huge, nice mahogany locker, and I'm thinking this guy, he was just an enforcer on the offensive line. He didn't let people touch or rough up his quarterback. He looks great after his football days. He lost a little bit of weight. I still
Ah,
wouldn't try him. And I'm like, Pittsburgh Steelers having a field day in
right.
Ohio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's more
Yeah.
fitting?
Dude, exactly. No, I agree. I mean, it's gonna be quite a weekend, and I just get chills just thinking about because I remember watching Jerome Bettis, you know, being inducted into the hall, and how much I cried. Like I thought I was like, oh no, am I pregnant? Like why am I crying like a baby right now? Um, I was very excited to see that. So if I recall correctly, I think he was the last Steeler to be inducted before this group. So anyway, yeah, so it's just going to be just really just such an amazing experience, and to see all the black and gold and all the terrible towels that are no doubt going to be waving there, you know, in Canton this weekend is just it's going to be a sight to see, that's for sure.
Miss Allison Kohler, can you let the people know where they can find your work and your material for the upcoming season? Because I believe you
Sure.
write for the Steelers Wire, right? But don't
I
let me tell.
do. Yeah. So I write for USA Today's Steelers Wire, and you can find my work on SteelersWire.com. But I also write for NSPN. I cover the Bucks, and I write a little bit of everything for the NFL portion of Next Gen Sports. So very exciting stuff. Oh, and if you want to follow me on Twitter, @Kohler_NFL, or at writer Allison Kohler on Facebook.
Excellent. This is Alex Fleming, NSPN, Florida Sun. This is on the sports arena. But yes, I also work and write for NSPN. I also write for the Bucks. I don't know if they like me, but I do write and cover the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is a sideline sports production. John Shears, the man who's driving, so that way I could go hands free. But yes, check out NSPN. They got a lot of Hall of Fame material on their website. I think you can find them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Oh, and I'm ALXFLMNG. Alex Fleming. No vowels. I'm just born like that. Allison Coleman, Alex Fleming. Talk of some Steelers. Peace.